Today we're going to show you how to fix the leaking oil pan on your Mark 7. You're going to be working on jack stands, but I got a lift, so sorry for you. Now as you can see, this car is leaking oil underneath. It's dripping from everywhere. That's a plastic pan, this is a steel pan. This uses RTV as the gasket. This uses an actual gasket. You can replace just that gasket if you want to stick with the composite pan. You also can swap to this steel pan, which we have kits for. Either way, you can buy them on our site, shop.com. We will link to them in the description where you can find the parts for that. But we don't recommend replacing just the gasket because the composite pan could end up warping, which means if you replace just the gasket and it's warped, it'll leak again, and then you have to replace them both later, and these pans are expensive. So we opt for steel pans. We have kits of these on the site. Again, linked in the description below. We're gonna start by draining our oil out of our car. There is technically a special tool for this. I'm using a flathead screwdriver. Next, we're gonna take the oil level sensor out. We're gonna push down on this tab, and then we're just gonna work it backwards like that. Take these 10 millimeters out. Oh, it didn't gush much. Now we're gonna take out our oil pan bolts, T30, all the way around. Okay, last bolt. Flathead screwdriver, we're gonna pry this off, and you can just get underneath here and pop it. If it doesn't pry off easily like that, you may have bolts still on there, so before you break something, check. Whenever you have an oil pan off, it's always good to check inside the pan to make sure that you don't have any like debris or metal or things like that. No particles floating around in your oil. This is brake clean. We're gonna use brake clean to clean off the area. You wanna make sure whenever you're an oil leak, you clean off the area so you know if it's leaking again after you fix the leak. What we're cleaning right now is the mating surface of where the oil pan goes because we wanna make sure we have a good, clean surface. Now we're ready to put our RTV on. Our car is all cleaned off and has a good mating surface. You wanna make sure that the pan has a good clean surface as well, so wipe that down first, and then we can apply our sealant. And use enough that it's gonna seal, but not so much that when you put this pan on, it goops out everywhere. Because if it goops out everywhere, it will get sucked in your oil pump. Don't suck a bunch of RTV in your oil pump and then clog it up and then nuke your engine because you filled your engine with RTV. Not to scare you, but you know, you should be scared. Going back in, have your bolts in your hand. Clean your surface again one more time, make sure there's no oil on it. You got a little bit of time. It was all right, a little bit of time. Get a couple bolts threaded. What I like to do is get 2 or 3 in there on each corner, get it sucked up, and then thread each one in by hand. Okay, torque spec on our bolt, 8 Newton meters plus 45 degrees. So run around and do 8 all the way around, and then 45 degrees. Not a lot. Or you could run them with an impact, and then you'll just be happy with that too, probably. Clean up our oil level sensor. We're also gonna swap our gasket that came with this oil pan kit. Not all the previous ones used to come with this, but this one does. Once that's in there, just drop it on place and put it in its home. This connector goes a certain way, so you can see this goes up in, all right, like that, and then you can just stick the connector on like so. And with these, you tighten them down all the way, and you're gonna kind of rotate it around in a circle, is what I've found to get them snugged up. And whenever you replace your oil pan, you're gonna wanna change your oil at the same time, which means you're gonna change your filter. This one's metal, it's a metal guy. Lou Ferrigno himself came out of retirement just to tighten this oil filter. 32 millimeter socket, found on shop.com, you can buy one. Pop it out. You wouldn't do this if you had a regular oil filter housing. And then you always replace the seal, always. And just pop it over like this. I hope this is the same as the factory seal. I'm gonna get a little lubrication on that seal before you put it on, both for tightening and for getting it in its home. Back in black. Ready to fill our oil up, take the cap off like this. Then we have our locking funnel, which has the same adapter as the cap. You're gonna stick it on in there like so, and then boop, whoop. Ooh, look at that, ready, I'll squeeze it. And then you trickle down. Ooh, that's actually really satisfying to watch. As always, check your oil. You will wanna start your car first to make sure that the oil filter housing fills up, and then you can check it to make sure you got oil in it. As always, when you're done, check your work. Make sure it's not still leaking oil. Make sure none of the places you've been have an issue. And if you need one of these oil pans, buy one. Shop.com. We'll link to it. Bye.